Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to look at something really cool. How a super simple twist, just a little change in perspective, totally supercharged a powerful AI recommendation system. And it all kicks off with a feeling I bet you've had.
I mean, have you ever had that feeling you finish a movie and bam, the perfect next suggestion pops up? Or you're listening to a song and suddenly you've got this amazing playlist that just gets you. It really does feel like magic, right? But it's not. It's some seriously clever AI doing its thing.
So, that magic we were just talking about? Well, it's actually a technology that's pretty much the bedrock of all modern recommendation engines. And at its heart, it's all about one thing: finding patterns.
This technology is called collaborative filtering, or CF for short. And like I said, it's all about patterns. Just think about it. It's looking at this gigantic web of everything we all do online. Every click, every rating, every purchase, and it pieces it all together to make a really good guess about what you are going to love next.
Okay, so in this world of collaborative filtering, there are a ton of different models out there. But one of them really stands out because it's so simple, yet so powerful. It's called Ease, and it's the star of this fantastic paper by Malaya, Nabat, and Mugiga that we're diving into.
Get this. Ease actually stands for Embarrassingly Shallow Autoencoder. I love that name. It's basically poking fun at itself because it's not one of those super deep, complicated neural networks. An autoencoder, real quick, just learns to find the most important patterns in data. But what's wild about Ease is that it's so straightforward you can just calculate the best answer directly. No long, messy training. And despite being so embarrassingly shallow, this thing is an absolute powerhouse. It often beats models that are way more complex.
So, how does it pull this off? Well, Ease has tunnel vision in a good way. It honestly doesn't really care about you as a person. Instead, it focuses completely on the items. It's like a detective creating a huge map, connecting all the items, movies, songs, whatever, based on how often the same people like them. The paper calls this an item-item adjacency map. Basically, it's a relationship map for stuff.
But here's where it gets interesting. As good as this approach is, the researchers had a hunch. They thought, what if this intense focus on items has a hidden blind spot? A weakness that, if they could just fix it, could make the whole thing even better.
And that brings us to the big, central question of this whole story. What if the most important connection isn't between two items, but between two people? What if you and I have almost identical taste in sci-fi movies? The way Kiss was built, focusing only on items, it might completely miss that super important connection.
So yeah, the model's biggest strength turned out to be its biggest weakness. It was a classic double-edged sword. By looking only at how items connect, it was totally blind to what the paper calls fine-grained user relationships. Those subtle little overlaps in taste between people that can be so predictive. And this, right here, is the aha moment. This is the simple twist. The researchers thought, okay, what if we just flip this whole thing on its head? Instead of looking at item-to-item connections, what if we looked at user-to-user connections? Okay, let me break it down like this because it makes it super clear. The original Ease model, the item-focused one, thinks like this. Hey, a lot of people who liked Star Wars also liked The Empire Strikes Back, so we should recommend it. It's connecting the movies. But the new user-focused approach, they called it UEase, thinks like this. Whoa, your friend has almost the exact same taste as you, and they just watched this brand new movie and loved it. You're probably going to love it too. See the difference? It's connecting the people. It's a small change in words, but it's a huge shift in thinking.
So running with this idea, they came up with two new models. You've got Ease, which is the pure 100% user-focused version. And then they created Use Ease. The I is for, well, it's the hybrid model, designed to be the best of both worlds.
And this hybrid model is it's so clever. Here's how it works. Step 1, it does the old-school Ease analysis, looking at all the item-to-item links. Step 2, it does the new UEase analysis, looking at all the user-to-user links. And then, for step 3, it just combines them. It mashes both of those viewpoints together to get this incredibly rich, complete picture of what's going on. All right, so that all sounds great on paper, right? A simple twist, a fresh perspective, it's a great story. But here's the real question, the one that actually matters. Did it work? Did this simple flip actually make the recommendations any better?
To find out, the team put their new models to the test on some standard datasets. One of them was the famous Movie Lens dataset. We're talking over 1 million movie ratings. And the results? Well, they weren't just a little bit better. They were dramatic.
Just look at these numbers. They really do speak for themselves. Using a pretty standard way to measure performance called NDCG, the original ease model got a solid score, 40.95. Respectable. But then you look at the user-focused UEase, it jumped all the way to 43.41. And the hybrid model, combining both, it pushed even higher to 43.51. That, my friends, is a new state-of-the-art result.
That's an improvement of over 6%. Now, you might be thinking, 6%, is that a big deal? Let me tell you, in the world of recommender systems where people fight tooth and nail for 0.1% improvement, a jump of over 6% from one simple idea is absolutely massive. It's a huge win. And here's the best part, the real kicker. They got these incredible, state-of-the-art results without needing some giant supercomputer running for days and days. For that huge movie lens dataset, the whole thing took less than a minute, 0.4 minutes. That's just insanely efficient.
So let's step back for a second. What's the big lesson here? What can we take away from all this? Why did such a small, simple change make such a huge difference?
Well, the researchers themselves summed it up perfectly. They basically said their work proves how important it is to think about this user alternative. Just looking at items was a good start, but it was only half the picture. Bringing in the user's perspective, that was the missing piece of the puzzle. And that, I think, is the real heart of this story. You know, in the world of AI, there's this constant race to build bigger, deeper, more and more complex models. But this paper, it's such a great reminder that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs don't come from adding more stuff. They come from just a simple, elegant change in perspective, just looking at the problem in a new way.
Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other big problems out there, in AI or really anywhere else, are just sitting there waiting for someone to come along and just look at them a little differently? It's a pretty powerful thought. Anyway, thanks for joining us for this explainer.